Well, hello and good day. This is Behind the Desk with Ryan Giese. Yes, that's right. I decided to start my podcast today from behind this desk. And I used to never have this acting coach or director friend, if you will. And I remember it just like he never told me. He said, if you don't start now, then you'll never start at all. So I thought I should start now. You might be asking, Ryan, after all these years, after 32 years of not having a podcast, why did you start to do a podcast? And well, I guess I could just explain it like this. I was looking at home prices in La Jolla, and I was shocked. I didn't have a trust fund, can hardly trust my funds. And I saw how much home prices were in the San Diego area. And just, I kind of realized that I think the only way people make money now is podcasts. I don't think people make money at work. I don't think they do jobs to make their money. So I think people just make money off podcasts and SoundCloud and I don't know, selling vintage items on Instagram. And there's a lot of things I didn't want to do out on that list, and this is evidently the only one I was willing to do. So I don't know what to tell you, what to expect. I don't know, how to describe it, but nonetheless, couldn't be more excited to be here. Could not be more excited to be here, and you'll stick around or you'll leave. It's one of the two. You'll never be somewhere or somebody in between. You just won't. I don't think you will. But I'm excited to be here, and you might be, even wondering, what are we going to talk about on this first episode? And well, I really want to talk about Starbucks. And you might go, why Starbucks? And well, I think there's some things that I just kind of noticed that have happened. And I'm excited about it. I'm excited to get into the details with you. I really am. And I started going again, back in maybe 2016. I started committing to going to Starbucks. And before that, I was just dipping my toes in the coffee, if you will. You know how the saying goes, just dipping your toes in the coffee. And I would go before class and I would drink my coffee black. I can't believe I did it there, but I did. Now I'm a oat milk kind of guy personally, but I started going again. They've really turned around. When I first went, it was kind of like the Disney World of the Midwest. It was Disney World before we had a Costco. Now I think Costco is like the Disney World for suburban families that live nowhere near a theme park. I really do. It's, hey, let's just take the kids and waste our weekend at Costco and buy a large quantity of things we don't really need, and half of it will go bad. I think families love to do that now, but for me, I would go to Starbucks. And I would sit, and it was like an episode of Cheers, kind of, if you've ever even seen that. My mom loved Cheers. I never really got into it, but my mother loved it, and I'd have to sort of listen to reruns sometimes, but I just will never remember the friendliest people work there. Kind of like seeing Goofy or Mickey Mouse. Like the friendliest people were there. They had to talk to you. Kind of like Mickey's always got to wave to you. And you could just go get a cup of coffee, hang out, and make some friends. I'd make some wonderful friends there. I'd meet my friends there, and I'd hang out. And I saw some crazy things happen there. I'll never forget the one time I was sitting in the drive-thru, and I actually watched this woman put her car in reverse in the drive-thru. I couldn't believe it. I was sitting there with my friends, and this woman, she had a car behind her, and she hit the car. I couldn't believe it. And she just kept trying to go. She was so lost, and you could tell that she hadn't had her coffee that day yet, and it was like 4 in the afternoon or 3 in the afternoon at that point, but she hadn't had her coffee yet. She didn't know. It wasn't her fault. She just kept trying to put the car in reverse. I couldn't believe it. And as she was reversing it, the other car wasn't moving. And so she finally got out and was like, wow, I was hitting a car, and she didn't know. And, maybe she made a friend that day. I don't know. But I'll never forget the ambulance and cops came and they just, they took her away. They took her away in the ambulance. They figured she wasn't feeling well, rightfully so. I'll just never forget. She asked the officer so politely, "Hey, can I go get my coffee while I wait?" And the cop let her. She walked up to the window, and she was still able to get her order. And you might ask yourself, what in the world? But I say, that's a customer service win on Starbucks' behalf. How many people still probably wouldn't give you coffee after all that? But she knew what she needed, and Starbucks was there to serve her. And I think we're getting that Starbucks back. For like the last maybe 2 or 3 years, we really lost it. We lost something special, You would go in and just kind of feel unwelcome. They had boxes just stacked up in the corner in like the most unruly manner. And it felt kind of dystopian, if you will. And you couldn't even go get your own coffee creamer or milk or whatever you want to put in your cup. And they'd refuse it, but it was like they were scowling behind masks. At least you figured they were scowling, but now you can see a smile. You can see a smile again. They want to learn your name again, and they've really made their coffee taste pretty good compared to what it was. Today, I ordered a coffee. It was a blonde roast. They said it was the most blonde roast they've ever had, and I said I want the blondest of roasts. So this is perfect. It's perfect. So it's probably like a medium roast of your favorite third wave coffee facility. And well, I like that. I like that because it shows effort. They're starting to show that they care, that you matter again. You matter again. They want you in there. They want friends to be made. They want community to happen. And well, they're back. I just really think they're back with their new coffees, their new community, and I can actually put my own oat milk. And I don't even think that was out there before. I can put my own oat milk in my coffee now. It's just a totally new experience. They have like 5 times the baristas behind the counter that I ever remember. And so, our coffee is going to get more expensive, or this is going to be a good thing. It's going to be a good thing. So time will tell. Time will tell, and I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But I feel really good about this new CEO change. In fact, it's coming at a very important time when, maybe we're going to go into a recession as a country. And what do people have then at that point? They don't have their jobs, so they need a place to go drink coffee. How are they going to spend their day if they have nowhere to go drink their coffee that they can enjoy and just experience community and service? So I think Starbucks really has turned around. They've changed the tables and chairs once again. They've taken some ugly things off the wall. And so I feel comfortable in there. I feel comfortable. I'm having conversations and comfort and coffee. All your favorite C words are just present at Starbucks like never before. And so I want to know what you think. I'll never forget. I was down in Fort Lauderdale like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and this is when I first learned I could put my own oat milk in my coffee again. I went and I asked for a refill, and they said, "Sir, we're just going to give you a new cup. Usually you get a reusable one now." I don't ever really remember that, but they don't even want you to use a paper cup anymore. They want you to use their cup. And I walked over, and I could even put my own oat milk in my cup. And it's just a new place. It's a new world. It's a new normal. We're getting used to it. It's a new normal, but I hope you guys get to go. I hope you get to enjoy it and tell me what you think. Some real established places in the area are starting to tank here in Fort Wayne. It's a real shame. It's a real shame. I love coffee shops, and well, I hope I love podcasting just as much as coffee shops. And I hope to have my own espresso machine one day and an apron, and maybe I'll pretend I work at a coffee shop. But until then, I'm going to make content that I can pretend people care about, that I can pretend that it'll be inspiring and change lives. And maybe I'll get a house in La Jolla and I can just kind of spend my days on a pool deck. I don't know. But the more you watch, the closer I'll get. The more you watch, the closer I'll get. And so, again, my name is Ryan Giese. Thanks for kind of joining me on this journey, if you will, if you choose. And I'm so excited. It's a new and exciting time. This has always been a passion of mine, but I'm finally doing something about. Sometimes it just takes you 10, 15 years to really get out the nest, if you will. And I think Mama Bird finally pushed me, if you know what I mean. So it's all metaphorical. But This is going to be Behind the Desk, or it's going to be called the GieseDoesIt podcast. I don't know yet. Tell me in the comments. Like and subscribe so I can, pretend I'm having traction. Feel good about it, And until next time, I want to know what you think about Starbucks. Is your local Starbucks changing? Is it not? Is it still terrible? Or is it, somewhere you might want to go take a date to? I don't know. I understand you probably don't want to take them to Delilah's every time in Miami. That gets expensive. But maybe Starbucks will work. She might not stick around, but maybe Starbucks will work. And you will know that it wasn't because of the coffee shop. It's because it was a coffee shop. So, again, like, subscribe. My name's Ryan Giese, and I just can't wait to see what else we have in the pipeline. You take care. Have a good weekend.